Hey, what's going on, everyone? Vega here for Serpent X Tech, and we got ourselves another package in today, purchased by myself from one of the more famous crypto mining community members in the scene. I'll tell you that name in just a second. Let me get this out of the box. Straight from pleb source, we purchased ourselves the Bitaxe Gamma. We got the 3D printed frame and stand, the main bread and butter right here, 1.2 terahash solo miner, or I'm going to use it to also help lottery mine along with my other Bitaxe, the FutureBit Apollo, the Canon Mini 3, Nano S3, 3S, all the miners working together for one mission, and that is to mine some Bitcoin. You can see on the back here we got some marketing, 21 million over everything. That's the total supply of Bitcoin. Pleb power on the 3D printed material or stand. Really cool. Let's go ahead and get this guy set up and power it on. All right, it may not look like it, but it is powered on and running. We can see the fan spinning. The LCD for some reason isn't coming on. That's not really a big deal. These screens, we're honestly on a lot of devices. I could just grab one off of Amazon, but I'll hit up the team over at Pleb Source to ask them quick questions. I can see it already on the network, and we just need to connect to it. That's what we're going to do right now. The stand is really cool, right? The board just slots into these pre-designed pinouts, right, or stands. The board sits on there, connects to the pleb power backboard, I guess you could say, and then it slots right in there. Really ingenious 3D printing design. I believe the SLT or STL files are online, and now it's just a matter of connecting to it and making sure it's mined to our Bitcoin address and to our node or to the pool that we want. Now I can mine to my Apollo 2 node here locally. I showed you how to do that before on one of my videos, or I can mine to one of my favorite pools, which is the Doctor's Pool, CK Solo. So let's switch on over using the phone, connecting to the Wi-Fi connection that this thing is outputting, and then go ahead and adjust the settings accordingly. Now logged into the device using my phone. All I did was connect to it via Wi-Fi. It does show up on the Wi-Fi network under Bitaxe, and we obviously need to go and manage the settings. So we're going to click the three bars on the top left, or what's called the hamburger, and we're going to want to click on the settings section or the network. I like to do the network first because, as you can see, the SSID is just Bitaxe, and you can change that and choose whichever you prefer for your home network if you have multiple. If not, choose your main network and go ahead and configure that, and then we can switch over to the computer and connect it, or use our phone to continue on updating, because we need to update the actual miner settings, which you can see here. There's a different Bitcoin address, a different pool. I like public pool as well, but you can see here they already have Doctor's Pool on here, solo.ckpool.org, that's one of my favorites. But public pool did hit a block not too long ago, and it was good to see the community for Bitaxe, Nerdaxe, and many more helping to keep the Bitcoin network decentralized. That's one of the reasons why I love these things. So let's go ahead and configure the network first. There we are. We are up and running, doing right underneath 1.1 terahash, around 17, 18 joules per terahash. It will level off and get a little bit better. These things are super efficient. The LCD screen came on for a split second and then went off, so I think the little LCD screen that's on this unit is just bad, but it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to use this in a swarm, but we can see here a graph of the hash rate, which is good to keep an eye on once you set up your Bitaxe for the first time. So just keep an eye on it over some time. We can see the power draw. We're around 18.6 watts right now. Input voltage, we're over 5 volts, 5.2. As long as we're above 5 and not below 5, like you're at 4.6, 4.2, you might have some instability. Your power supply might be going out on you, and I had a number of power supplies go bad on these Bitaxes, just FYI. We're at the default frequency of 525 megahertz and default of 1.12 volts. You can adjust those. You can see the temperature right now is 58.8, but it's behind the Jazz miner. Definitely want to keep an eye on that. Make sure these miners are not making the little guy, the Bitaxe Gamma, a little too hot. And you can see that we're connected to our pool. If we go over to the hamburger again, and then what I like to do is keep an eye on the logs and show logs, just so I can see how everything is going jobs are being made available. We're processing those jobs, so on and so forth. Logs are one of my favorite places to hang out with. And then in the swarm section, we can add other Bitaxes. And if we do that right now, you can see right now we got the NerdAxe on here. It's only doing 454 giga hash, been up for 4 days, 12.2 watts. But we can see all of our entire swarm in here if we wanted to. We can add the device to the swarm by putting in the IP address on your network. And then boom, there we go. We got both our devices on here. It would have been 3, but my other Bitaxe died, unfortunately. But I love these little things, super efficient. So let's go back over here. Something very important before I let you go is that you always want to keep your firmware up to date. So if you go to the settings tab at the very bottom here, not only can you change the theme colors, I like black and red or dark theme, but choose the theme that you like. There's also versions. If we hit the check button, we're going to see that there's 2.6.2, a major release was just come out. Make sure you update. To update your miner, I showed you how to do that a number of times on the channel, but you can see that we got the ESP-miner.bin and then the www bin. To update the firmware, it's going to be the ESP miner. So if you hit, if you download by clicking that ESP-miner.bin link, and then download the bin, you can update both. So you're going to browse on your. I would do this on your computer, not your phone. That's why I'm not doing it right now. But we would download the bin for the ESP miner, hit browse, install that, and then after we make sure everything is back up and running, then we will update the website with the www.bin. That one's not as important, but the firmware is certainly more important. Again, just keep your miners up to date no matter what. But these miners are very cool. I love using them, and I love hashing away with them. It is a very, very small chance to hit a Bitcoin block, but a chance nonetheless. We're at 1.21 terahash now, 15.8 joules per terahash. And again, if we go back to settings, you'll see at the very bottom here, you can change the frequency. 525 is the default. We can push this thing if thermals allow it, and then we could also increase our voltage if, again, thermals allow it. Don't push these things too hard. Stock, they run pretty good, but I like to tinker, so I'm probably gonna do a little bit of overclocking. I moved the Bitaxe up here away from the Jazz miners and to the left of the RX0, only because the air coming out of here is a lot cooler than the air coming out the back of the Jazz miner. Again, the LCD screen doesn't work, but I don't think that's a big deal. For me, it might be for you, especially if you just bought this product. A huge thank you to PlebSource for helping us buy this product. Again, we did buy it outright. We didn't get any discount or get the unit for free, but I just love these little things. And I know a lot of you do as well. So get involved, help keep the network decentralized, mine some Bitcoin, have a chance at hitting a Bitcoin block. I hope one of you win it. I hope I win it, but it's a very slim chance. I just don't want you to put all your hopes and dreams on hitting a Bitcoin block, because it's unlikely, but it can happen. We've seen a number of people hit blocks right before Mine Disrupt, around Bitcoin conference last year, earlier in 2025, late in 2024, so it is possible. Right now, the temperatures on the core and the voltage regulator has dropped down from around 68 to now 58, 57, just because of the air. Even though it's warm air, the air coming out of this 120 mil fan going right onto the Bitaxe is helping cool components, helping cool the power port, voltage regulator, and the core. So now we just got another Bitaxe to add to our swarm, and this is the Bitaxe Gamma, which you can go purchase from a number of our colleagues in the space, whether it's PlebSource or Solo Satoshi. This is a great community to be a part of. I don't think they're competitors, but colleagues, and they do have stores to where you can buy these. I'll link to them down in the description, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for stopping by. Do me a favor on the way out. Hit that like button, get subscribed, hit notification bell to stay up to date, as well as check out additional links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here. And I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.